Hi everyone, ELI COTONIETO here with Realty of America. So as the temperatures set around the Chicagoland area, we want to make sure you and your home are ready to handle these frigid temperatures. I've invited a special guest today to share some expert tips to keep your home safe, warm, and energy efficient this season. Joining us is Joe BEATON from National Property Inspections, and Joe has years of experience helping homeowners like you prepare for the challenges of extreme weather. Joe, thank you so much for being here today. What are some key things that homeowners should focus on as we head into these cold months?
Hi, Ellie. Thank you so much for inviting me on here today. I'm Joe BEATON with National Property Inspections, North Chicago Metro, and I'm here to talk about your top 5 maintenance-related items or things to look for, improve during the winter months of owning a home. Number one topic I always talk about is your smoke detectors or your carbon monoxide detectors. I took the liberty to take mine off today. I did notice it is over 10 years old, so I do need to update mine. So please forgive me for that. I am a human being after all. Yes, you are supposed to have these updated every 10 years. They do have a 10-year life expectancy. Depending on the type of home you own or where you live, I live in a condo, so these units are required to be harnessed in. They have a built-in electrical, so you tie that back into the system, so it's always got power. But say the power failed, there is a secondary electrical source. We have a 9-volt battery. If you do live in a single-family home, more times than not, you're not going to have the electrical harness, although they do exist. More times than not, though, you're going to have just your standard 9-volt battery. Newer units, when you test them, are going to tell you, smoke detector or smoke activated, please evacuate. It's going to talk to you, right? This one's an older model, doesn't have that. But technically, manufacturer standards, you're required to test these once a week. Look, mine's over 10 years old, so we're all human beings, right? We're not going to be able to remember that or have that due diligence. Just go around and test them. Like right now, be a good time to do it. Just go ahead and push the button. Okay, if you hear that loud beep, that's telling you it is up and running. If it does not, or if it doesn't talk to you, it's not. So that would be the time to either update it or change the battery. A lot of times they'll beep continuously if the battery is dying. So it's very annoying. So you would know anyway. Do that, please. Check your smokes and your carbon monoxide detectors. If you're curious to know where they're all required to be located for today's standards, you just do a simple Google search. Plenty of information on there to get you all the information you need. Number 2, very important to keep an eye out for, is your air filters for your furnaces. Depending on the type of home you own, so for me, I have electric everything. Even my heat is electric. I have electrical baseboard, so I don't have a filter to change. But if you have forced air, meaning that you have an air duct where air blows through it, that's an air handler or furnace, depending on the type of system you have. So we're not going to go into a whole detail of that, but make sure you're changing your air filters. So every furnace may have a different air filter too. So again, this is not a one-all-size-fits-all. Make sure if you're unsure, get with an HVAC technician. But typically your air filters are going to have different life expectancies. If you have your most basic unit, it's going to be like a blue air filter, very thin. You could see right through it. Not a big fan personally of those. I always recommend to update to 90 days, a little bit less maintenance related to those. But if you do have a blue unit, a 30-day furnace, make sure you go ahead and change those every 30 days or just update it, take it out, put in a 90-day air filter. What you're looking for these air filters: dirtiness, clogging, especially if it's a 30-day, if you can't see through it, if you see a bunch of dirt on it, time to replace it. Okay, same as the 90 days. If you see a bunch of dirt, lint, it's going to look kind of grayish. Typically that's coming from your air ducts. Just go ahead and replace those. Most times you could buy those at any store, really. Walmart even sells those. But yeah, very important to change those out. If you have a furnace, more high efficiency furnace, you may have a HEPA filter. Typically those will have a longer life expectancy, and they're going to be made of cardboard, pretty thick. you know, depending on the type of HEPA filter you have. But typically those have a life expectancy of 6 months, 9 months, into a year even, I've seen. So just depends on your brand and model. It's always best just to try to match when you're replacing your air filters. So if you notice it's a 30-day, if you're okay with doing them every 30 days, by all means go for it. Just make sure you're matching. So get the correct size. They need to fit the air plenum 100%. Actually, I'm okay with them sticking out even a little bit if you got one that's a little bit longer, but it needs to cover the whole opening. So make sure they are fitting properly and you're updating those accordingly. Number 3, your hose faucets on the outside. Make sure you are disconnecting any hose attached to those. And if you haven't done so, you need to do it like right now. Pause this video and go do it right now. Main reason is you're going to run the risk of pipe bursting, which is going to cause a much bigger headache for you. So please, please, please disconnect all hose faucets on the outside of your home. And even to take it one step further, I always recommend to winterize them. And even in new construction units where they have the frost-free pipes, I've seen them fail, folks. So just go ahead and winterize them anyway, just to prevent. I would rather be a little bit more picky and thinking of prevention than anything. If you have access in your basement or a crawl space, or even if you have a slab, a lot of times you'll have access points behind the walls. Just be like a little cutout. You could remove it. Just go ahead and shut that off, and then go outside, open the valve, and that way the water, any remaining water, will drain out, and just leave it open just in case the interior unit fails, and that way the water could flow out. I would rather be safe than sorry. So go ahead and do that if you haven't done so. Number 4, gutter cleaning. This should have been done in the fall time, but we get busy. Life is busy for us Americans here. So make sure you are cleaning your gutters accordingly. So if you don't have a gutter guard, I recommend it twice a year to clean your gutters, once in the spring and once in the fall. That's to keep them clean, make sure they're draining properly to the downspouts. Drainage around your property is one of the most important things you can think of when it comes to home maintenance. Keeping those clean. If you're in a condo like me, good for you, you don't got to do it. But if you're a single family homeowner, guess what? That's on you. So you can either hire somebody to do it, or you could do it yourself. Keep in mind, safety first. You should always be thinking safety. So if you're not comfortable climbing a ladder, 12 feet, 20 feet even sometimes, don't do it. Okay, just hire a professional. If you do have gutter guards, sorry, I didn't talk about it. If you have gutter guards, at least once a year, but they still need to be cleaned. Okay. And then it goes on to another topic with gutter cleaning is ice dams. So if you've been in your home for an extended amount of time, you notice you have some ice forming around your gutters every winter, that is an indication you have poor insulation in your attic space. So as a home, especially in the winter months, we're going to be heating it often, every day, right? So we want to live comfortably. If you have poor insulation in your attic space, the heat is going to pass through up into the attic. And what happens is, as any snow sitting on your roof pitch, right on top of the shingles, it's going to melt. And then as it rolls down, it gets to the gutter system, and then you get this ice formation. And it gets big, 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 and then in the springtime, it goes away. Well, sorry to tell you, your shingles for your roof are water resistant, but they are not watertight, folks. So that water will seep through the shingle between it, because they're not watertight. They can seep through it into your roof structure. I've seen extensive damage from ice dams to your roof structure, to the interior walls. It can create moisture, mold inside the walls that you wouldn't even know is there. So if you do notice ice dams forming, that is your indication to improve your insulation. Very important to do so. And last topic today is to clean your dryer ducting. Dryer ducting is something that can be done any time of the year, really, but wintertime tends to be, just seems to be a good time to do it. In my opinion, I feel like most people do it. I did even see today a real estate agent that I'm friends with, their dryer caught on fire, and it's because they didn't clean their dryer duct. So cleaning your dryer duct can be something that could be done by you as a homeowner. You just have to, if you're handy enough, of course, disconnect the dryer duct on the back side of the dryer. You have to slide it out, and then if you have air compressor, you could shoot some air in there. I don't know if that would be enough, if depending on how bad it is. Sometimes you may need to hire a dryer duct cleaning contractor or duct cleaning contractor just to clean those out, and check your duct condition as well. So it's important to keep a good duct clean and in good condition. So if you notice it's damaged, it's time to update. That way you're not producing humidity into your home, which can create what we call microbial growth situations, aka mildew, mold. So make sure you're replacing those air ducts. I always recommend a metal material. Sometimes flexible metal is fine, or a solid metal is even better. But metal is the best way to go. If you have a vinyl duct, they don't allow that anymore. So that needs to go. And foil ducting, I don't recommend either. Very susceptible to damage. And keep in mind, your dryer is also producing carbon monoxide, because it is, if you have a gas appliance, of course, will create carbon monoxide, and it needs to vent. And that duct is where it vents through. So we need to make sure it's like a metal material. So those are my top 5 items to look for home maintenance. I'm Joe Beaton with National Property Inspections, North Chicago Metro. If you're looking to book an inspection, give me a call or text 847-749-3188, or you can book 100% online through my website. That's at www.mpiweb.com/North Chicago. And I'll see you at your next inspection. Thank you so much, Ellie, for inviting me, and have a good one.
Thank you so much for watching and for taking the time to learn more about getting your home ready for the winter season. We hope you found these tips helpful and that they keep your home cozy, safe during these winter cold months. As always, I'm here to support you, whether it's advice for your home or helping you with any of your real estate needs. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or just having questions about the market, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to help. Wishing you a warm, happy, safe holidays this season. And thanks again, and we'll see you next time.